Welcome to the MAD LUCRATIVE Podcast. I am your host, Magneto 7, in the building again. Another week. I'm here. I know y'all get tired of my loud mouth, but I'm still here anyway. Yo, I hope your week was amazing. I know mine was. Check it out. First thing, we got a special guest today, Miss LEXI Church. Very dope, very dope. We're gonna get all into everything she does shortly. But check it out. So, y'all remember last week when we were talking about the stuff in Texas that was going on at the border. Some people might not have liked what I was talking about, but I'm just a realist. Y'all, if y'all don't know me by now, like I got a message saying that they were like, "Yo, I love your pod because you have so much like masculine energy." So I was like, what does that even mean? But anyway, I'll accept it. I take that as a good thing. But okay, the thing, and y'all know we're not gonna have Sean on today, but I'm just recap from last week. Y'all remember when we were talking about how per administration things just keep changing, and for me, I sit back and observe and really think about what's going on before I respond to anything. Like I'm not one of those people that you could just feed some randomness to and I'm gonna just go with it. Like it has to make sense in my head for me personally to go with it. Now, I'm not saying that everything that I say is right. I'm not saying that everything I say you have to go with. You have to go along with it. Like, yeah, NEDO said it, so that must be what it is. Like, I'm not saying that at all, but I am saying, just pay attention to what's going on, y'all. Like, okay, let me give you a little bit of background. So back in, I'm gonna say this was probably 2004. Yeah, I think 2004, 2003, somewhere around there. Me and my church, when I stayed in North Carolina, me and my church went to Haiti on a missions trip. All right. I know y'all be like, yo, as much as you cuss, like, I am a Christian. Charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head, not my heart. But we went to Haiti on a missions trip. Of course, I was going there as a keyboard player, but I've also had some type of skill in the building department, so I didn't mind helping put up some sheetrock or some stone or any of that kind of stuff. Like I'm still there. I still do it to this day. But when we went down to Haiti, the people there were beautiful. The spirit that they had, that they operate in, was beautiful. Of course, I'm sure there are some dark sides of Haiti, as there are in all places, but beautiful spirit. Everybody worked together. It was a unified situation. And then when you go from this space to, let me see. We good. We go from the space of having all of these people that work together to accomplish one big goal to a space where there are just takers. People taken from poor people that's don't have nothing. Like, and the first thing I saw when we went down there was these beautiful trees, beautiful homes, mountains, water. Like, it was beautiful. But then when you go in the city, like, and Haiti City is not New York, it's not Atlanta. It's like the dumps. Like, it's just, everything's just been taken. You can see it's years and decades of abuse, right? So I think I asked the I think I asked one of the people that's from there, like, yo, what happened? Like, why are these people, they live in houses that's pretty much open in one section, and then you go a little bit further down, it's raw sewage. Like, y'all don't see sewage here because we got it in the ground. Is we got plants and everything to keep things clean and all that kind of stuff. There, it's like an outhouse everywhere, right? So they said like the government got corrupt. This was back in 2000, like I said, 2003. The government got corrupt, and they just everything that America would send, they would just take it, spend it on themselves, do whatever they wanted to do. So it immediately made me think that, okay, well, if we send stuff to Haiti through the United Way or whatever, and we trust that once it gets there, it's going to be rationed out to the people the right way. But the complete opposite happens when it gets there. Like, when it gets there, like, the rich people stay rich and the poor people stay poor, and nobody's sharing nothing. So fast forward to 2021. If they came up under them circumstances, then it's another situation with the government being corrupt. Then you add COVID on top of that. Then you add people that was already dying on top of the people that was already dying. Like, yo, America has to get to the space where we're waking up and smell the roses. Like, yo, what we consider help is not necessarily help. Like, really do some digging into how we can help countries like Haiti find resolve, just like we did. And that's, Sean would be like, dude, stop bringing it up. But just like we did in any other nation, like, just because it's majority dark skin, coming from Haiti, don't mean that they deserve any inhumane treatment. Like, that's lame. So I will say, government, for that, you already know. It's a no-go. It's a no-go. We really have to make sure that we're paying attention to what's going on, y'all. And I'm not getting into the vax conversation today because we got our wonderful guest, Miss LEXI. But nevertheless, everybody just wake up, pay attention to what's going on. Where you fit in, just fit in. Like, contribute some type of resolve. And I'm going to leave that there. Let's call LEXI.
Hello?
Miss Church, how you feeling? Look, y'all. I told her that I'm extra. I already told her that I'm extra, so she don't know what she's getting into. But
I went and got some more coffee. I was like, let me hype myself up.
Exactly. But y'all, welcome Miss LEXI Church. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you know I already got to get on you, right? I got one small question.
Okay. Here we go. What's up?
Where did the name that I can't pronounce?
Alfredesia.
Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay. Where did that come from?
So my grandma, I believe she really liked Aphrodite and kind of ran with it.
Okay.
Because my aunt is named Alfredesia, but she spells it different. And my mom just named me after her. So it's only 2 Alfredesias, including myself.
Okay, cool.
And, you know, we special.
Okay, cool. So we'll clap for that. So, no, because I was just like, okay, I'm not, like, when I called her earlier, y'all, just to kind of give her an idea of how the show goes. And I was just like, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I see LEXI. We gonna go with LEXI.
That's what people do. I don't like any abbreviations of my first name. I'm like, it's Alfredesia or nothing.
Yeah.
And they be like, oh, okay, that's cute. So what do they call you? And
So
so, yeah, my middle name's Alexius, and so people are like, "Okay, Lexi, it is."
okay, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Yes, yes.
Fans, she's dope. Okay, so let me tell them how I came across your page, and then
Okay.
I'll let you introduce you. So I was on the gram. Y'all know I had like little random spouts where I'm just commenting on people's stuff and seeing if I can get them mad. And then if they respond, I'm like, got them. but anyway, this day, I was in dad mode because my wife had just sent me some I think some outings for the girls to go to and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, it's cool. So I'm just browsing. And my agent friend down here, Reggie Miller, y'all already know, Reggie the Guru, he said, yo, I think you should check her out. She's dope. So as always, as us, I feel like that's the new adult video game, like Instagram and Facebook. So,
But seriously, yes.
so he sent me your page, and I just get into the spiral of your content. So I'm just like, up, click on it, up, up. Then I said, oh, she's actually spitting some knowledge. And I click on another video. I think I stayed on your page for like a good 30 minutes. I promise
Yes.
you. I promise you.
Yes.
So it worked. It worked.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. That's cool. That's cool. That's dope.
But outside of that, I think as I try to tell artists on my platform, the content will get you the eyes, but make sure you have something to give the people once they come patronize whatever it is that got them to your page.
Yeah.
So that's what got me to your page, and I was like, yep, we got to get her on the pod because she's dope. So,
well, thank you.
let the people know, I guess, where you're from, and wherever you want to go from there.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I am in Virginia. I don't know if I'm like from here per se. I'm a Navy brat. So I was born in Chicago, but we moved a lot. I went to high school like overseas. I graduated in Italy, and
Okay.
yes, like cultured. Okay.
Yeah.
And and I've kind of like settled here in Virginia. So collectively, I've spent the most time in VA, and I'm a realtor here. And I'm just about giving people knowledge because knowledge is major key. And I like people building their wealth. I like helping people build wealth and snatching this land and being able really to like pass stuff on to their next generation, because that's not something I had. So I'm really over here trying to make old money because we got new money,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
That's the goal.
I think when you say that, I'm thinking about we always have legacy conversation on the show, right? And I know, okay, my folk probably eat me alive for saying this, but Pops, me and my dad have a good relationship now, so don't charge to my heart. But I remember my dad, before he left, before him and my mom split, he was like, yeah, the best advice I can have for you is don't have no babies. You tell me this.
I mean,
sir. No, but look, Lexi, how you gonna tell an elementary kid don't have no babies? That's what I'm saying. So I was just like, okay, I can.
Well, y'all must have been bad. He was ready to yeet y'all.
Yo, so then fast forward, my grandfather, which got me into building stuff, like he was a brick mason. He was just like, I think I got in trouble in middle school. And he was like, don't be a disgrace to my family name.
Oh, disgrace.
Just like, yo.
Like, some heavy one-liners. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So people be like, yo, you so harsh sometimes. But when I grew up like that, it was more of that kind of stuff instead of the healthy, this is how you build a business. This is how you build something to pass to your kids. I didn't have that. So like you said, a lot of this that I'm getting now, this is first generation. Yep. And I know you're paying attention to what's going on in Atlanta. It's a lot of black millionaires. Like, like we're the first generation to do a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Isn't that wild?
It is.
Like, yeah, like it's exciting. It's wild. It's like almost a lot of pressure sometimes. Like it's cool. It's cool. I'm here for it all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So okay. So you grew up a army brat, like my wife.
Navy, Navy, Navy,
A Navy brat. Okay, okay, okay. Look, y'all know I will mess something up in a heartbeat. So so
Navy
so
brat. Yes.
so my wife was pretty much grew up the same way, right?
Okay.
And a lot of the psychology, I never really, I can't identify with, right? So like
Like
now,
what?
okay, like okay, and maybe this ain't just maybe this not your story, but I know she's talked about having issues with trying to connect with people,
Oh my
and
gosh.
uh,
Yes. I was just having this conversation, but continue. Yes.
okay, so
Continue.
so for her trying for her connecting to people is a little bit more difficult than me. Like I'm just if we're in the elevator, that joint is not gonna be quiet. I'm talking like I'm the first. Like I like your shirt, bro. That's like I'm going there if we're in the elevator. Her complete opposite. And I guess do you feel like how can I phrase it? Okay, no, better word, better phrasing. How has that um messed up I can't even say messed up. Has that crippled any of your relationship building when it comes to uh building your business in real estate and working with other agents and all that kind of stuff?
So I guess my issue with relationship building as it pertains, to like being a military brat is I'm an extrovert by nature. That's just who I am. Like I'm a
Okay.
Taurus. For those out there who are like Myers-Briggs, I'm an ENTJ. Like I be out here
Okay.
and I like to talk to people. However, I've always been used to like not holding on to people, if that makes sense. Like when we
Okay.
moved, where the first question people would ask, like, "Oh, when are y'all leaving?" Like,
Mm.
so I need to know how invested we're about to be in this friendship because I know you're about to leave. So when I started in real estate, I was kind of planted here, and so I was been kind of forced to be like, okay, I gotta like foster these relationships. Like these relationships are here, and they're not going anywhere. So let me put more into it. It's been like more of a like not forced, but it's been something I've had to learn as an adult. Like, okay, I gotta water this relationship over here. I gotta water this grass over here so I can
Mm.
keep it going. So it's made me a better person, but it's something that I feel like people who don't move around a ton, military or what have you, like
Mhm.
they don't go through that. And my husband now
Mhm.
is that my ex-husband, he's in the Air Force. And so I'm over here and he is born and raised here. And he has friends from like kindergarten. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
nuts. I'm like, you still talk to them? Like, that's nuts. Like, what? That just blows my mind. Like, people are like friends for like 20, 30 years. Like, that's nuts.
And
So
see
I don't have that. That's crazy.
and see like your husband, that's me. I'm the same way. But a lot we okay, so we're from North Carolina originally.
Uh-huh.
We moved to Georgia in 2010. I moved down here because I told you I was in the music business. I'm still kind of in there, but I don't like people. So
What?
so no. So okay, it sounds bad. It sounds bad, but
It does.
okay. So in the music business, and I'm not trying to get off on that tangent, but in the music business, you kind of learn how to read the room quick.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then you're taught to read the room to see how much you could get the fastest and then get out. That's the
Interesting.
that's the music business. That's the whole business. So me being the genuine person that I am and the emotional Scorpio that I am, when when I'm thinking that I'm building some real friendships and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to get him. I'm about to use him up. Oh, you can produce this for my artist and never pay me and that kind of stuff." Like,
Ooh.
yeah. So imagine I go from that to now being a dad, being a husband, and like, no, I don't take no, you know what? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't take it. So a lot of those friends might invite me to like cookouts and this, and that. And I'm mad blunt, Lexi. I'm blunt. And
You just be like, no, I don't want to come.
no, I don't even do that. I say,
Oh my God.
I'm not trying to come to your bleep 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 with your bleep 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 bleep. Hey,
Oh, and why they still your friends?
that's what I'm saying. Like I've built, and the bad thing is, I feel like I've had to build that hard exterior to succeed as much as I've succeeded now. Like I've had to do that.
Like a thick skin.
Exactly. So
Okay.
like I know with my subs, if I'm going to a property and I know we got to have that joint turned in by Friday and it's Wednesday, and I'm like, yo, bro, you still ain't cut that in yet? And they're like, yeah, man, we ain't did. Okay, bet. If you ain't gonna do that, I'm gonna hold your check, and I might come in here and finish, and you don't get nothing from this job. I'm gonna go to the next one, and I'm gonna get you straight on that one. And that's just, I've learned to just get it done and disregard everybody else's feelings. So
I mean, really good in sales though. I mean, like to a degree. Like with sales, it's business. You gotta, at some point, you gotta have the transactional side down.
yeah, yeah,
And the transactional side is straight business. So you gotta know when to, turn that on. But, with sales too, it's marketing, and marketing's a transfer of emotions. You gotta have the relationships.
right. Okay. So I don't feel that bad then.
It don't feel too, I mean, you like 100% of it. I'm saying be like 80-20.
Ooh, I don't know if I could do that. I could do 90-10.
Ooh, that's all right. We all a work in progress.
Yeah. Okay. So, what got you into real estate?
What got me into real estate was me understand and finding out that it's easier than I thought. So when I bought my house with my husband, it was before I was licensed, and it was going through that process as an unlicensed person and just as a buyer, and finding out all this stuff and not knowing a ton. Like agents don't be sharing stuff. Like it's nuts to me. I'm like, okay, first of all, in our culture, like we need to know this.
Yeah.
Way back when land was important, somewhere along the way it kind of fizzled out, and now we don't have our land.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, a big part of that is knowledge, and half of these agents out here ain't telling. No, like it's not a secret.
No.
It really isn't. It's not a secret. So I'm like, I'm gonna just be out here. I'm gonna just let them know, because if you have if you have more knowledge, it expands your options, and you can make better with those options to go build your life. But if you don't know it, then you're constantly choosing the same thing, and you're constantly going to be where you are. And I was like, that don't make any sense. So I was like, I'm gonna be an agent, and let me keep it real. I'm like, we make good money.
Yeah.
So like, you put in work. I ain't gonna lie, you put in work. It's a lot of work. I be quitting like 3 times a week, but I'm like, that's it. I'm done.
I can definitely identify.
Like, really? I was like, you can close these deals. I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I love it, because I feel like I'm really equipping people to better their lives, and it's something that can, like, it's not like a purse. It's nothing that you can like return. Right. You're building equity. It's stuff that you can like pass down. I think that's huge.
Right. So you sound so much nicer than me putting things the way you put them. I'm like, bruh, you got to do better.
Oh man. So people, they were like, oh, Lexi, you're so nice. But people mess with my clients. I can get real, like, people, they take advantage of it. They're like, oh, Lexi's so nice. I'm like, look, I know these contracts in and out. What you're not finna do is think I'm like, you're going to play over my clients. Like, no. And like sellers, you have to have harder conversations with sellers, because it's more emotional. Like when they're selling the house, they think it's worth more. And I'm like, nah, like, this is the number. This is what we're going to do. You got to take your emotions out. This is not your house anymore.
Right.
So that's why everybody's not a listing agent. And that's why you'll see in the industry, people are like listing agents or, a-holes or whatever. And I try not to be, because I mean, you just have to be harder. I'm like, hey, we're going to laugh the whole time, but I'm going to be real with you.
Yeah.
So you do have to have hard conversations, but I like it. It's good.
Okay. So tell me this, cause I do know about the business. How do you deal with the buyer that wants the $1 million house for for 150, 175 in 2021 where the market is crazy.
Oh man. So what I used to do in the beginning when I was like a new agent, I was like, okay, well, here's what you can afford. And they're like, no, why are you sending me this? I'm like, because this is what do you mean? Like, this is what you can afford. And so they're like, no, I want to see this. I'm like, okay, bet. Cool. I'm like, just give me the list of what you want and then we'll go see it. So I go see it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is great. But Lexi, like, why are you showing us this? It's like $200,000
Hmm.
over our pre-qualification. I'm like, because you ain't listening. So now you see
Exactly.
it. Now you see it. And you have two choices. You can either we can work, make a plan, and then you can buy it maybe in a year and see where you are in a year. Maybe you can afford more, but rates are going to increase. So it's a risk.
Hmm.
Or two, you can buy where you are right now. You don't have to be there for 30 years and you can go flip it and then build the equity, sell it, pocket some money, rent it out maybe if you want to, and then go
Hmm.
buy another house. Like people need to change their mindset. You don't have to be in a house for 30 years.
Exactly. And even with that, okay, so I'll give you a little bit of a backstory how I got into it heavier.
Okay.
So this is, I'm gonna say, 2015, because we were just about to have our first daughter, right?
Okay.
And music business, streaming has taken over. All of us are cussing out everybody like, stop streaming, just go buy the music. And of course, we lost that battle. But anyway, we're going back and forth trying to figure out where we're gonna start getting money from. So me, if anybody knows me, I'm a hustler, Lexi. Like I will do. Listen, okay. So I picked up trash at a complex. No,
Okay.
no. Let me rewind that. I got rid of my nice whip. I was, oh Lord, I love that car so much. But anyway, I got rid of that. Got a beat up 19 I think 92 pickup truck.
Okay.
Started going pick up trash at apartment complex for like the valet trash thing.
You're like,
Then
Val.
yes, it's called valet trash down here. It's crazy, but listen. Now I will pay for valet. I will pay. I will pay for somebody to pick my trash up from my front door and take it to the curb. Yes, I will. Lazy, but I was picking up all of these people trash. I'm going through the parking lot. They got the 5 Series BMW. I'm like, I used to have one of them. They got like the Audi, and then they got the everything nice. I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just get the job done. I think I made like $300 a week, so it's good money.
Yeah.
And then I got an illegal hustle. The illegal hustle, well, it's not that bad. It's just you're not supposed to do it. So
I was like, you talking about you over the statute of limitations?
no, 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 cause look, the building burnt down, so it's cool. So
Okay.
so it was the we buy junk cars
Yeah.
signs. Listen, I was on the expressway. I was stamping them joints up everywhere. And they tell you to do it. It should have let me know it's illegal then, because I was doing this like at 12 at night, like 12 to 3,
What?
putting up these we buy junk car sign. And
This
then,
visual you're painting.
yo, but eventually, we got to the space. Like I was like, okay, we can make it a little bit. We're good. But then the real estate snapped in my head, and I was like, yo, this woman about to have this baby. We need somewhere to go stay at. We were living at my cousin's house. And
Hmm.
now imagine this. When we got married, I always had some bags. Always had the bag. Always had a nice car. Eat out every night if you want to. All the way to go on to stay at somebody's house that I barely know. My cousin I barely know. So my wife, and this is probably where somebody like you would come in. My wife said, let's go look at some houses. I was like, man, we ain't got no bread to go look at the house. But we could go look at, I guess we could look. So she like, and this was my second property buying directly. Like my first property I lost during the '08 stuff. And that was in North Carolina. So, credit started getting built back up, but I just ain't had no money. So good credit and broke. But so we saw this property that we currently have. I was like, yo, it's a trap house. But, on the listing it was like for I think it was for sale by owner, something like that.
Hmm.
So I was like, we could afford to try to finance $45,000. Listen, I wish you. I wish you would have seen all the banks I tried to get $45,000 off of. They're like, bro, no, it's 50,000 and up. I'm like, look, 45. They're like, bro, walk out of my office, please leave.
Walk out,
So, so
sir, the door.
yeah, but fast forward to current day. This property we got is 15 minutes from downtown Atlanta. So you already know
Mm-hmm.
it appraised for 307.
Woo!
So what I keep trying to tell artists and everybody that's kind of new beginners in the business,
Hmm.
find you a fixer upper. Like
Yes.
you can and when I tell them when they keep fighting me, and I say I turned 45 in a 300, they be like, wait, okay, I'm listening. what do you mean?
Talk about a flip. Talk about a flip.
Yeah. So I guess for me that was a big lesson. Like never judge a book by its cover. Don't be afraid to put in the work. Like from that I started working for a contractor. I started getting my money up more. Then I ended up getting my contractor's license. Then I started flipping properties. My wife became an interior designer. Like it was just a trickling effect of starting to win. But I had to learn that lesson first. So for me, that brings me to you. What was the biggest lesson you've had to learn in the business so far?
Ooh, that people lie. Oh man, I feel it probably one of my hardest deals, like these sellers. I think so I like to believe people, and I like to connect with people. And
Mm-hmm.
part of that is getting emotionally involved. And people talk about me. They're like, Lexi, you get too involved with these transactions. And I'm like, it's a whole house though. Like I care. I do. I really do. And I be believing people sometime, but now I'm like, it's better. Like, it's just mistakes that you make. And it's always the biggest mistakes they say will either cost you a ton of time or it's going to cost you a ton of money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this seller, he wanted to sell his house. It was a great house. And he basically didn't pay anything. And I didn't know it. And he lied and he said he paid for everything, and he lied about his mortgage payoff, whatever, which is ridiculous because it all comes to fruition. Like, what did y'all think is going to happen? Like, y'all going to just write on a piece of paper, oh, yeah, I don't owe nothing. Give me all the proceeds. Like, that's not how this works.
But what you mean by not pay nothing though?
Like, that he didn't owe anything. That he didn't owe anything.
Oh,
House.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They didn't owe anything. So we get through the deal. Like the buyers come, they offer like 30 grand over. It was in the crazy market. It
Hmm.
was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Come to find out, he wasn't paying nothing. He thought he ain't owe nothing because he wasn't paying nothing. I'm like, bro, that's not the same. Like, just because you ain't making a payment, like what? So
No.
like, house is about to go in foreclosure. The buyers had already like moved in because we did an
What?
early possession, and I should have. There was red flags. Like the meter was off, and I like paid his water bill for like a couple of months. I'm like, oh, that's
What?
weird. Like he's an older guy. It was so stupid. In hindsight, I'm like, okay, Lexi, like that was you deserved that a little bit. I paid like his utility bills. I'm like, no, this is great. You're gonna make all this money. It's fine. Like, it's cool. Like, just chill. He's this older guy.
Okay.
And I ended up coming out of pocket a couple of $1,000.
Mm.
And I felt bad. Like, what hurt the most was now there was this whole family in this house that was displaced. And I
Oh,
felt
so they
like
had to move.
they had to move because it belonged to the bank. The bank was like, y'all are like 2 weeks out from foreclosing. Like, what?
Wow.
Yes, like he owed so much, and
So
what they were offering, he couldn't come out of pocket another like 200,000.
so tell me this. So okay, in that case, how did they finance the house, or they just had cash, or how did they do that?
So you talking about the buyers?
Yeah. How were they
So,
able to do that without getting the tax records and all that kind of stuff?
so yeah, that's when it all kind of came to head. When they were like, yeah, we're trying to get the payoff for the seller. Like the title company will get the mortgage payoff for the seller. It goes onto the seller side title company,
Mm-hmm.
and they get the mortgage payoff. It goes into the closing disclosure.
Right.
Everybody gets it. All the numbers are there. And the title company was like, yeah, we're trying to get the mortgage, pay off, and it's taken a while. And then they called me and they're like, he has two mortgages on the house and they haven't been paid years.
Wow.
Years he hasn't paid on both of the mortgages. And so there's like an accumulation of that, taxes, fees, all that. He hasn't paid nothing. And
Wow.
yeah, and it's just wild. Like the buyers were crying, kids were crying, I was crying, we all
Ah.
crying outside. I'm like, I can't. I wish I could help y'all, but I can't. And yeah, so
I know you
it
felt
cost
mad
me.
guilty.
Yes, it cost me a ton, like couple $1,000, and seeing like I felt like I could have helped them a little more if I would have just asked the right question. So that taught me, like, hey, now when I have a listing for them or whatever, I'm like, you're gonna have to show me some paper, bro.
Okay. Okay.
Like show me some proof that this is kind of what you owe, because I've been burned before. I ain't trying to be nosy. We have to know this to know like what to sell your house at.
Right.
But that was probably my biggest lesson. It's just maybe not gullible, but just really taking everybody's word for what it is. But at the end of the day, like this is a transaction.
Yeah.
And so you have some people in the business who are trying to get over on people and are trying to
Yeah.
find an easy way out because they're in the hole. So
So
yeah.
okay, so that's the biggest lesson. What's the biggest win so far?
Ooh.
You said, "Oh,
Yes. Probably. Oof. Okay. Probably
look." If you
helping.
don't want to put your numbers out there, that's fine. You can talk in a roundabout way. We
Okay.
can
So
do
I've
that.
been trying for a while to get in this one neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I've just been working relationships. Like, hey, like how y'all doing? And I've been helping people here and there, and like helping people on like a small scale, and it's just led to like big time referrals and big deals. And so that kind of just confirmed to me how important relationships are, and it's just really true to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just be out there like talking to people and they be like, oh yeah, you're an agent, like yeah, this is what I can do, I can help you, like let's vibe together, let's get this land.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's been my biggest win, is finally getting in this neighborhood where it's like big money.
And when
So
you say get in the neighborhood, you mean as an agent to list some properties from it?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
To help people, yeah, buy and sell. Primarily these listings though. So yeah, big time money, which is
Okay.
good for my pockets. And now like you get that referral train going. And
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
referring me because they like me. And I look different than a lot of people over there. I'll just say it like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And and it's nice to be one of the few that they are referring. So
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get out here, but ain't nobody look like me out here. And
you know, you know what's funny? And a lot of my coworkers will be like, "Yo, you so extra." But when it's stuff like that, I think of black privilege. It's a
mhm,
it's a new thing. Y'all just gotta accept it. Y'all gotta accept it. But like, so for instance, for you is getting into that neighborhood. For me, it's being preferred over a certain contractor or being taken for its word. So I got a friend of
mhm,
mine that's been trying to get in a better space financially.
okay,
Um, and a musician friend, and as that's the majority of my guests or my
mhm,
my fan base. He's like, yo, I really need a job, this and that, and like I told you, I've done everything. I hustled on the side of the I done did everything, but the we call it the whites, like like Dwight Howard. you,
yeah,
you spell it like that, Dwight. but
I
the
did not.
but but the whites love me when it comes to. They're like, yo, Crawford. That's my name is Michael Crawford. That's my government name. But they say
Okay,
Crawford. I just love how you did. Your guys came in here and they did all the trim. The crown molding is beautiful. The floors is beautiful. Anything you need, just let me know. For me, I take those words and put them in context for the people that I might know that need something. So
mhm,
a friend of mine, he needed a job. I came from Fulton County. It's like the biggest county in Atlanta. Like, city of Atlanta is in Fulton County. So
okay,
I worked there plenty of time, like as work for the actual county. So I said, look, I know somebody I could call to get you a job. I called. 2 weeks later, he like, yo, they actually called me back, and he's not qualified. He's far from qualified. I would just, he's 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 a good guy. He's a good guy, but he's far from qualified. But for me, they end up hiring him too. They hired him too. So for me, that's black privilege. Like, it's a new thing, and I feel like we have to start thinking from a more than perspective. I feel like enough of us kind of do the bottom of the barrel type of mentality. Like, no, like, no, sir. If you want a $700,000 house, go get it. Do it legally, but go get it and do the things that you need to do to get into that space to have it. So for me, those are wins. Those are the new wins for new black money, new black business owners.
Abundance. Like, come on.
So I don't want to keep you too long. I wanted to ask you about family.
Okay.
And I'm letting y'all win. When I interview these people, I'm kind of getting I'm getting therapy. They're teaching me. You don't know that you're my therapist tonight, but they're teaching me.
My degree's in psychology. Let's go.
Okay. So, how do you balance the family dynamic? Whether that's with kids, husband, clients, if you have higher ups, all that kind of stuff. How are you balancing that?
So I have 3 kids, all boys.
Ooh.
Lord, I got too many kids. I got he's 13, and I have a 4-year-old, and then I have a 10-month-old.
Ooh.
Yes, all boys, and a pit bull. Like, the pit bull's a girl, but it don't count. Like,
my wife won't let me get a dog. I've been trying I tried this whole year. She like, nah, it's a no.
I love it. We're gonna get another one after we get a bigger house. But yeah.
Okay.
So my husband's a firefighter.
Ooh,
he's a firefighter paramedic.
Schedule.
And his schedule, it actually helps.
Okay.
So when he does go, like, they have 10 days out of the month where they're working 24-hour shifts. And it's gotten to a point where he doesn't need to work overtime because I'm primarily, it's my job that primarily pays for a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And so when he's off on, like, 5-day breaks, like, he's off. Like, when he's not at the station, he's not working.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, like, it just helps. So on those days, I'm, like, hitting the ground. I'm like, yo, I got these clients and we're seeing houses all day. Let's do it. Let's go. We're going on the contract. Y'all are going to find these houses. And it works. The only thing, because it's crazy because everybody thinks because I'm a realtor, like, I just have all this time. I don't know. Like,
they text you at 12. Hey, look at this property. I'm trying to go hit them all.
Like, I call them marathon days. Like, I have crazy amount of marathon days. You'll be working from like 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. the next day, just going. You have so much stuff to do. And I don't have a team yet. It's just me. It's just me right now. So next year I'm working on building my team, but for right now it's just me. So I'm doing all the work. So my kids, though, I've gotten to a point where people who they know me, like, I've just gotten more into like who I am. So I'm like, look, y'all are going to take me for who I am. If y'all want to work with me, just know sometimes these kids going to have realtor t-shirts on and they're going to come along with me. They're going to come to these walkthroughs. They'll tell you what to look for. And we out here. So it has worked. If my husband had a 9-to-5, I really don't know how those couples are doing it, because it's, to me, I'm like, I need that, I don't know, like, the timing is just weird. Okay. The schedule is weird. We were talking about it, how, sometimes it'll be crazy. Sometimes there'll be days where I feel like I haven't seen him. But if he worked a 9-to-5, like, I don't know how the kids, like, who's picking up these kids? Like, I'd have to pick up the kids every day. Like, I can't do that.
See, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you absolutely did not help me at all.
Like, My husband, he loves he's almost like a stay-at-home dad. He's like, yeah, this is great.
That's
Like,
dope. I would love to do
and
that. I would love
he's
it.
like the mom I aspire to be. Like, he
Okay.
is doing it. He
Okay.
really is, and he loves it.
Okay. So for us, I'm I'm up at 5:30.
Okay.
On average, I'm up about 5, maybe 5:30 at the latest.
How old's your youngest kid?
The youngest is 3. She turned 3 this month.
No. That's so sweet.
Yes, 3 and 5, both girls.
Three-nager. Three-nager, that's what I call it.
Yes, and she's so extra. So again, I'm up at 5:30. I'm out by 6. I'm in.
What?
Yes.
What are you talking? It takes me 30 minutes to go get coffee. What are you talking about?
No. That coffee starts to brew because I got cured. That coffee starts to brew while I'm brushing my teeth, take my shower. By the time I walk out, cup of coffee's ready, and I'm at Fulton. I just said the place, but anyway, I'm at Fulton from 7 to about 3 ish, roughly. Right?
Okay.
I'm in the office. I'm looking at properties. I might be doing inspections. I'm doing everything in that time. Then I get off of that. I go look at more property for Staccato Design and LZC properties because we do property maintenance for a couple of different companies.
Okay.
So I go from that to potting. Then I go from potting to coaching.
You say from potting?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
potting.
podcasting.
Okay. Yeah, like podcast.
Yeah.
I was like potting plants. Okay.
Look, my wife hates when I say potting. So she say, just say podcasting. No, it's potting.
Okay. I mean, do you? It's 2021.
But I'm gonna say Monday through Saturday. I'm normally the earliest I might get home is like 7 or 8 on average. That's the earliest. Sometimes I get home at 12 and then I'm right back up at 5.
Do y'all have date nights?
That's the issue. We
take date nights. We have monthly. It's been monthly because it's easier to, and it'll either be like a date night or we have it like a date weekend, and we take turns planning it each month. So 1 month I'll plan it and we like try to outdo each other. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take us here. I ain't gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna surprise you. And it's like this whole thing. And it's like we look forward to it. 1 month we went to like Mexico. Like so yeah. I'm
gonna take it. I like that.
You gotta do the date nights because it would feel like 1 month we missed it and we were like, have we seen each other at all?
Yeah. Okay. You did help me then. You did. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I like that idea because, of course, like I said, she's the designer, and she sings. Like, I'm gonna send you her IG and her TikTok. She's going crazy. Like, she's a content guru. She's a beast. Like,
yes, send me her stuff. I love people that do content.
But between us doing all of that and then trying to stay on top of the family, then the girls, of course, are like, "Oh yeah, Dad, let me lay. I just want to lay on your chest and go to sleep." I'm just like, "Oh, okay, I got you." I'm like, "I got you, cool." But yeah, finding that time to connect, that is, and both of us know it. We both realize that we got to do better about this. Mm-hmm. But we just get engulfed. She'll show me what she did on the property. Yeah, I think we should go with the green and this and that. I'm like, okay, dope. I'm gonna put the call in. That's what we're gonna do. And she's picking out pillows and all that. So yeah, we'll find that. I like that. 1 weekend out the month.
And you have to put it on the calendar.
Yeah, we'll do
like
that.
It has to be like a non-negotiable. Like, we'll sit down and we'll be like, hey, like let's pick a weekend. Like, what's this weekend look like, or what 2 weekends from now look like? Like, okay, cool, I ain't got nothing right now, and it's gonna stay like a client appointment, because if it was a client, I ain't gonna cancel it.
Yeah.
So it's the same mentality. And with his schedule, like sometimes we'll be able in between, like we can have like lunch, so we'll go have like lunches or whatever. It'll be like an hour lunch or something like that.
Okay.
And then but the date nights, that's non-negotiable. We take one every month.
Okay. Non-negotiable.
I like it.
So last but not least, I think I've had you on here long enough, and she's like, "Yo, this dude could talk." Last but
I'm
not
having a
least,
good time. I ain't
okay,
got to
great.
cook. I'm good.
Oh, okay. So. All right, women in real estate. I got two more questions, then we're done.
Okay.
Women in real estate and black women in real estate. How do
Oof.
you think? Yeah. How do you think that's coming along? As far as like building, I want to say with each other, but I feel like I know the answer. but for conversation, how do you feel like black women in real estate are doing building relationships and maybe JVing joint ventures? That's what that is. If y'all don't know, but
Hmm.
JVing deals, like how do you think that's going?
I think recently it has gotten a lot better. And I don't know if it's because I've been purposefully like making sure I'm putting myself in those types of environments, like Black women in real estate. I'm part of like a group on Brown Girl Agents. We've been masterminding agents all around the country. Kiana Watson, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's in
No.
Atlanta.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, she's a huge agent in Atlanta, and she's actually like one of my, I call her my coach. I'm part of her group, Agent Tools for Success. It's primarily Black women.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be in Atlanta in November to see everybody. And
Dope. You gotta come
yes,
through. We got to do dinner or
yes,
something.
like the culture is real, and I think it's we collectively or individually realized that there needs to be more kind of representation
Mm-hmm.
in real estate, because it's ironic because real estate commercial is kind of run by the old boys group,
Yep. Yep.
um but residential is primarily run by white women.
Mm-hmm.
And Black women, we were trying to like figure out where we fit in there because we're like selling, but you turn on the TV on these like $1 million property shows and who you see.
Exactly. Yep.
So we're trying to kind of shift and say like, hey, we can be luxury. Like we can
Exactly.
do this stuff. Like we're just as good. If not better at some of the stuff,
Yeah.
and we have our vibe about us and people like it. So I think we've become more cognizant of that. And because of that, I'm starting to see a ton of more agents come together that are even in like the same market. They'll be like, hey,
Mm.
we're in different brokerages, even like let's help each other.
I like
Like
that.
we band together.
I like that. I like that. Cool. And I think because of course the it always works for me when I'm trying to get our people in, especially from the music side. I always equate it to trapping, and I'm like, yo, dude, if you know how to turn a quarter into whatever, you could put that same 10 grand down on a property that might be
Hmm.
worth 100. Put another 10 into it to fix it up. Get a tenant in there, and
Hmm.
you can make income that you ain't got to watch your back for. And they're like,
Passive.
for real,
Passive
bro, for real. I'm
is
like, bruh, look at the receipts, and
hmm
it wins. It always wins for me. Um, I want to see how we can make sure we avoid getting into that gimmicky space.
oof.
Um, no, and the reason I know it because I work around it. I work around it all the time.
I'm
Like,
sorry you see it.
yeah, and I'm in the South too, so you already know. But
Hmm.
that, uh, so a lot of my friends in the building world know that I come from the music background, so they like, you been up there with them Hollywood folk, and you know
Olive.
yes, and they go all the way in, and then it gets to a quiet space, and it could go. You already know it could go to something like, "Oh, can I feel your hair?"
Uh,
To or, "Do you know how to rap?" Or, "I'm sure you could dance."
yeah, twerk,
You,
Lexi. You know how to do
right.
that.
So, but I want to try to get us into a space where we can avoid that even being struck up or struck up. I don't know how to say that, but how we can avoid
Um,
it. Do you think
I
it's
feel like,
something that we could do to avoid getting into that space? Because the more I feel like the more successful we get, the more they want to put that dance for me just to bring you back down to
uh-huh.
earth.
Yes. I personally feel like the more successful, like millionaire, like black people that they see not flashing it,
Mm.
because we get like, because, and I know it comes from just the culture of not having. So like, I feel like people like, we gotta flash like, oh man, look, I made it. Like, this
Right,
is
right.
me. Like, look, I did it. Like, we got out,
Mm-hmm.
But rich white people, they in like tennis shoes and t-shirts, and they just out here with money. So
Mm-hmm.
I think if we're out here and we got money and we're not like so flashy, and we're just kind of normalizing black people having money, and it's not a thing, like we're making it a thing. If
Okay.
it's not a thing, then I feel like people won't have to try to, I don't know, bring us down. It's that whole stereotypical type thing, I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
so it's more of a build and self correct from within.
Yeah, and with that being said, like, we deserve luxury too.
Yes.
Abundance is a birthright at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, if we want to be like, yeah, I like nice things. I have Louis V, I got Gucci, I got stuff.
Right.
But I think it's a balance.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And last but not least, let the people know where they can reach you, what kind of literature you might have for them, all of that stuff.
Yes. So my website is lexichurch.com, LEXI church, like a chapel.
Okay.
Uh, .com. My Instagram, which I be on primarily, I be on the gram. I love that place. It's Lexi Church
Okay.
RE, for real estate, Lexi Church RE. And I be on TikTok. It's Lexi Church RE. I
I
try to
didn't
make
know
it
you
easy
were
for
on
everybody.
TikTok. I didn't know you were on TikTok. Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Reels and Instagram is like my number one.
Okay.
And then I'm on Facebook too, Alexius Church. So it's ALEXIUS. And I'm working on, some literature and things like that. But I primarily pass out my home buyer and home seller guide. So I have a home buyer guide and I have a home seller guide,
Okay.
um, that helps a lot of people kind of just know where to start. Like, people don't know where to start,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like everything that's involved. So it's a free book, that I give to people so they can kind of see and plan, because planning is really important.
You said free?
Yeah.
Look. Look. I already look. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Look. I know they like he about to try to tell her to sell it. I sure am.
Listen,
Listen.
you gonna buy a house? Y'all gonna buy a house? That's why it's free. You don't buy a house. You don't sell a house.
So yeah, okay. So y'all heard that. That's free. Of course, all of her information, all of her offers will be in the body of the this episode. And if you don't know that, go to IG. Just go look up on IG. Don't be lazy. Go look her up.
The link in my bio.
Look at the bio. You gonna look. I'm gonna warn you. You gonna be there for about 30 minutes first, just laughing and be like, "Yo, that's pretty cool." Like, you gonna be there doing that first. But before you leave the page, click on the bio, get everything that she's offering. If you're in her area, go buy a house from her. Just do it. I don't care if you ain't got. Look, I don't care if you ain't got it. Just
Listen,
just go buy the house.
we gonna work something out. You gonna at least leave with a plan. Okay?
But I love it. I love it. I appreciate you, ma'am. Thank you for your
Yes.
time. Thank you for your
Thanks for
time.
having me.
And this was great. This was great. Appreciate you. I'll holler at you.
All right, y'all be good.
All right. Bye. Yo, that was dope. That was dope. So if y'all didn't catch, I'm going to tell y'all something. It was one part of the conversation. Well, a couple parts. Y'all just going to have to play it back. But the main part towards the end, as we talked about last time, artists, make sure you know your market. Know what it is, what kind of content works for you. She said off the rip, yeah, the reels and the TikTok, that works for me. That gets me popping. I'm good. Do what works for you. Don't just do random stuff and then be wondering why it ain't working. It ain't working because that ain't something that you're supposed to be doing. Just keep it 100. But nevertheless, this is episode 15 of the Mad Lucrative Podcast. Thank you for your time. This has been amazing. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment below and let me know how you enjoyed this episode. All right. Peace, y'all.